Hello and welcome to the Unit 6 Section 1 video of types of solutions. So we're going to be talking about systems of equations. That is, when we have more than one linear equation, what kind of solutions can we get out of it? And we're going to talk a little bit in this section about the types of solutions you can get. So let's start off by talking about systems of equations and what they are. A system of equations is when there is more than one graph on the same coordinate plane. So instead of having one line plotted, you're going to have two lines. We use systems to compare two separate quantities. There are three methods that we use to solve a system. The first is graphing. Okay. The second is substitution. And the third is elimination. And we're going to be spending pretty much this entire unit talking about these three methods of solving a system. Now let's talk about the types of solutions you can get out of a system of equations. So here we have three graphs. This first graph has one solution because it crosses at one point. You have one point where they both share a point. Okay, so this has one solution. All right, so if the graphs cross, then you have one solution. Now the second graph, they are not crossing at all. In fact, the lines are parallel. So if your lines are parallel, that means they won't share any point at all. So that means we have no solution. And then in the third graph, it looks like we only have one line, but the second line is actually underneath the one on top. So if the two lines are on top of each other, or you have the same line, then it shares all the points. So you have infinite solutions. Okay? So now let's go through a few examples and see what our solutions are. When in the case where you have one solution, your solution is going to be the point at which they cross. So here we have 1, 2. So it's going to be an ordered pair, 1, 2. That is your solution. For this one, the x is 0, the y is -1. We have one solution, and it's at the coordinate point 0, -1. All right, what happens if we have a table of values? Well, we look to see if the y is the same for any of the values. So for this column, we have a -11 here, and we have a -11 here. That's shared with the same x value. So since this is the same y, for this one x, our solution is x, 2, and the y value, which is -11. All right, for the next one, we look again to see where we have the same y value in the table. And so our solution here is going to be -3, 12. For number 3, we're going to determine that the point is a solution to the system of equations. So to do that, we're simply going to plug our point in and see what we get. So our x value is -1, so I'm going to plug that in for x. Our y value is 5, so we plug that in here. And we see if we get 3 on the left-hand side. Well, 2 times -1 is -2, plus 5 is 3. And so we get 3 on this side, because -2 plus 5 is 3. So it checks out, which means we got to go to the other one and check that one. So we got -1 minus 2 times 5 equals -1. So -1 minus 10 is equal to -1. And so we have -11 is equal to -1, which is not true. So since that is not true, then -1, 5 is not a solution. Does this mean a solution doesn't exist? No, it just means negative 1, 5 is not a solution. All right, let's try this other one. So we're going to plug in 4, and we're going to plug in our 1. 4 minus 1 is, last time I checked, 3. So let's try the other one. 3 times 4 minus 2 times 1 equals 10. 3 times 4 is 12. 2 times 1 is 2. 12 minus 2 is 10. And so it checks out on both. So 4, 1 is a solution. Is it the only solution? Not necessarily, but it is a solution. All right, final example. We're going to use the graph below to determine the solution to the following systems of equations. So this first one, this is, let me get the color here. This one, oops, let me get the color on the correct thing. Here we go. So this first one is, if I can get the right thing here, I'll get it eventually. Here we go. All right, this is our blue line right here. The other equation, negative 2x minus 5, that's going to be our red line. So I'm going to put a red box around that one. So these are the two lines that we're looking at, the red line and the blue line. Well, we do have a solution, and the solution here is going to be 1, 2, negative 2, and negative 1 for our y value. For b, we have x minus 5, which is our purple line. Let me try getting the right thing again. Our purple line. And then we have negative 2x minus 5, which again is our red one. So let's put that one in red. And let's see where they cross. So red and purple. X value of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Y value of negative 5. So 0, negative 5 is our solution to that one. A lot of lines going on here, but you just need to pick out the two that you need to look at. All right, so that finishes off this brief introduction section for this unit. Coming up in the next section, we're actually going to graph these lines, and we'll solve the system of equations by actually doing the graphing.